Hey there YouTube, JR Juggernaut 1 here, and this is going to be one of my last few videos before I more or less shut this channel down. Um, I am going to be starting law school in less than a month and a half, but at the same time I wanted to get some sort of content up while I have the chance. That's like something that I should have said in a video a while ago was that there's just nothing really to talk about. A lot of people will claim that there are some stuff. This format isn't so bad. I'm not gonna lie. I think I don't think people who think this format is good are stupid, but I really think people who think this format is good do need to really take a good look at this. I think most people will agree with me. What really makes this format so terrible right now is the fact that even though there are some unpredictable, is that the format is somewhat diverse. The decks that win, the major decks, that being Prophecy and Dragon Rulers, don't really win in skillful manner. Now, the whole argument about the mirror matches being skillful, I think is true to an extent. To an extent. But I also will argue that, you know, while there are arguments for why the mirror matches are skillful, I think there are also good arguments for why the mirror matches are not skillful. So, it just kind of bugs me, I guess, that there are players like Fraser Smith, for example, that really do think this format's good, and I'm just kind of like, are you kidding me, man? Um, Not going to call people out in a negative way. I just really think that people need to rethink the status of this format before making that kind of judgment, because in my opinion this format is just, it's not the worst format ever. I think I've played in worse, but it's still pretty much up there. This is one of those formats where you win not through skill, but you win by the amount of it, by how much you basically out advantage your opponent in your duels. But this isn't why I'm here. But I'm not making this video to bitch and moan for 10 minutes. I'm actually making this video to talk about what I think is hopefully going to be the saving grace of this format. That is, of course, Battle Pack 2. Battle Pack 2 is a pack that we found out about not too long ago, but I'm pretty sure when people found out about it, they were as excited as I was. I was pumped. Now, granted, Battle Pack 1 was not perfect by any stretch, but I thought the format was skillful as hell, even sealed. What people have to consider is that um, a lot of what makes the Battle Pack format skillful is that they're slower. There's a lot more thought that has to go into your plays. You actually really do have to think about what your opponent's out. You really have to do. You really do have to think turns ahead as opposed to thinking simply in the now. Um, and the fact that the playing field is very balanced is also, is pretty significant as well. Now, some people went to some people went to YCS San Diego and left thinking Battle Pack was not skillful, and they were pissed off by the situation, by the format itself. Not thinking it was so skillful, and that was a big reason why that event didn't get nearly as big of a turnout as it should have. Quite frankly, I think the people who do argue that this format isn't skillful are, no offense, but I think they're somewhat ignorant. I think that the Battle Pack format, even sealed formats, while there are some situations where players will do well because of somewhat nutty pools they have, what makes the format so good is that it's very easy to have a decent pool, which is why it doesn't, in many cases, duels and your success in the format, or in the tournament, will not depend so much on what your pool is like, but it will depend on how you utilize your cards. Even people from Yu-Gi-Oh! Memes, for some reason, think that that's not the case. But it boggles my mind at how little they actually know about this. I'm not going to say I'm the best person to talk to, but if you talk to people who have tested the hell out of Battle Pack events, they will tell you the same thing. And also take into account how many good, skillful players with tops made it to Day 2 of YCS San Diego. Take that into account. Seriously. You'll also notice a lot of those players also made it into the top 32. So if you're going to tell me that my guess is a lot of the players who got lucky making it to Day 2 didn't end up making it in top 32. Just pointing that out there. Okay. But of course the major reason I'm talking about this pack is because I want to talk about what I think is going to be like. I want to kind of analyze the pack itself. I'm not going to go through it card by card, but I want to talk about some of the things I've noticed in the trends of these of the card list. Now, the reason I waited, of course, until now to do this is because we now only recently did we get a full card list, or at least an almost full card list. I'm pretty sure it's completely updated, but if it's not, we're missing 1 to 2 cards tops. But yeah, the full updated list can be found on Wikia. So if you want to follow along or check this out after you're done watching this video, go right ahead. But yeah, let's go through kind of the main theme. Now, one of the main themes we've been noticing about this that's kind of been hinted to was the fact that there'd be a lot of tribute monsters. And looking at this pack, there really are. But an interesting thing about it is that some of these are tribute monsters that do require tribute in cases. Others are ones that you can special summon relatively easily. I'm talking about cards like the Fiend Mega Cyber and Phantom Dragon, both of which can be tribute summoned, but of course there are ways of special summoning them through their effects. Another thing is that they're trying to give you some cards that can be both offensive support, but also they work well in a deck that has tribute monsters. I'm talking about cards like Zolga, Twin-Headed Behemoth, Revival Gem, excuse me. Cards like that, or just big defenders like a Big Shield Garna, or monsters that protect themselves like Gyroid. And of course you have Treeborn Frog in here because, well, Ultimate Tribute fodder is pretty awesome. You also have cards that play somewhat of can be defensive, but like Phantom Dragon with that special summoning effect. Like there's also Dragon Ice, if I remember correctly. Where was that card that I was thinking of that's in here? So sorry guys, I was just looking at this because I know there's multiple cards in here that are like that. Dragon Ice was one of them. Oh, right, Interplanetary Purple Thorny Dragon. That card's in here. And yeah, I think the idea is, you have a lot of powerful tribute monsters, but there's a bunch of pretty awesome ways that you can get them out. And some of them have pretty cool effects that, are great here, but they're not necessarily, but because of their, tribute summon status, they're not cards you were going to see played in like the main meta. Take Mosaic Manticore, for example. I really like this card's effect. During the standby phase of the next turn you tribute summon this card, you can special summon the monsters tributed from your grave. They cannot declare an attack and their effects are negated. One of the things that's really cool about this card is that once you do tribute summon it, I don't know the ruling if it has to remain on the field, but give me a moment and I can check that. Okay, yes, it does have to remain face up. So that's important. But yeah, nonetheless, it's cards like that are still pretty handy. So I'm looking forward to kind of what this pack really brings us. There's just a lot of fun things to be had with it. But one of the other things that's cool is the fact that we are getting we're just kind of getting a bit more of a interesting pool. I think this is going to work better than the previous battle pack, just because I think now that they kind of tested certain things out, there's more stuff that's going to be in here that's going to be successful. There's more. I think there's a bit more of an emphasis on trap cards in this format. In this set. I don't think people are going to be playing a lot of traps, but I do think we're going to see on average at least 1 to 2 more traps per sealed deck. So that's pretty important. I like some of the traps that are actually in here. Like that I wish could have been in the last battle pack, although for some of them there wasn't much they can do. Breakthrough Skill is probably going to be one of the most powerful ones, although I do think in a way it's not, at the same time it's probably not going to be so powerful. I think on one hand the effect negation is really good, and there probably are going to be some very cool effects, monsters, some good ways of using it on your turn if it's in your grave. But at the same time, I'm thinking of this how, as you're noticing, a lot of the a lot of these are just like, they get out tribute, they just tribute summon monsters. Negating their effects can be relevant, but you still have to stand out a big beater. So, Breakthrough Skill's not going to deal with that, so you have to consider that as well. But yeah, speaking of cards like Breakthrough Skill, though, the reprints in the set are definitely better than the last one, so that's something I'm really looking forward to. Card D is probably one of the best, but at the same time, this is kind of going to be the problem of Tour Guide, where it's probably going to be a $20 card. But I at least like the fact that there's more cards you can actually pull in this set that'll be worth money. The Abyss Megalo reprint, honestly, I do kind of find weird, though. I'm not going to lie. Don't get me wrong, I understand how it's like, okay, it's a level 7, you can tribute summon it, there is that. Okay, that's perfectly cool. My gripe with it is actually that, whatchamacallit, my gripe with the whole thing is that it just seems very out of place here. It's like, you pull it and you get money, but at the same time, are you really going to play it in your deck unless you're playing a lot of water monsters? And I'm looking at the list, I'm seeing some, but I'm just saying, are you really going to play it, when there's nothing you can search off it? So you're never going to really go plus off its effect. That's more of what I'm trying to say. So, oh, but wait, Sinister Serpent's in here. Ooh. Well, crazy combos aside, we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, there's just some, I think you're clear, what I like about this is that there was a lot of thought put into this pack. I'm really excited for this set because I'm hoping the stores that I'm going to locally are going to have plenty of Battle Pack sealed tournaments. I'm actually going to be going to one this Saturday in Brothers Grimm in Selden, New York. I'm going to leave the address for the store on the comment section below. If you live in Long Island, or if you live in, near Selden, wherever, gladly go by. It's going to be $20 entry for and you'll get 10 packs of Battle Pack 2. You'll have to make a sealed deck out of them, and after that, obviously we're going to play it out in, I think, a Swiss tournament. Signups are going to start at 1:30, and the tournament will start promptly at 2 o'clock. Well, I should say promptly, but I could be wrong. And we are hoping, and we're hoping to get plenty of people so that we can give prize support to more than just the top 4. But first place will be getting a signed Greg Abbey playmat, so I'm looking forward to trying to win that prize. But yeah, I'm liking that, this, like I said, I like this pack a lot. I like the thought process they went into it when they made it. Every single card in here, at least almost every card I would say, makes sense. Some cards that, really do belong in here, but you wouldn't necessarily have thought about it. And yeah, I'm honestly just really looking forward to trying this out. I'm just, you know what, I'm kind of rambling now, but I think I really did get my point across. I hope you guys enjoyed the vid. I am going to probably post up an updated vid on my Constellar deck, because that's, what I've been running the past month and a half. I will also, I'll either do that, or I'll leave a link to the video where I'm probably going to get a deck profile of it done today, because I actually won a High Priestess tournament last week with it, in spite of the fact that I had to face prophecy upon prophecy. Yeah, I don't know how it happened either. Either way, guys, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys next time.